This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Our life is shaped by our mind. For what we become, what we think. Buddha. Our life is shaped by our mind. For what we become, what we think. Man, that's a good one this morning. Welcome to Choose to Rise. Welcome to Public House Media. Today we're going to be talking about 8 benefits of being mindfulness and how you can use mindfulness to improve your life. Because what we focus on, we create more of. What we think about, we become. And as Buddha says, our life is shaped by our mind. For what we become, what we think. Welcome to Choose to Rise. If you want to connect with me more, if you want to head over to choosetoriseUp.com or Choose to Rise Up on Facebook here, I would really appreciate getting connected with you and learning more about you as well as you learning about me. And just joining a part of the community where we're here to rise up and live our best life. And one of the ways that we can do that is to practice mindfulness. So what we're going to talk about today is the 8 benefits of mindfulness, how you can use mindfulness, paying attention basically to what's going on in life to improve your life. So have you ever drove somewhere and realized that you don't really remember driving there? Like you got just like on autopilot and it just happened? Or have you ever eaten something that's like just gone before you even tasted it? Like you sit down with a bag of chips and pretty soon the bag of chips is empty. Has anything like that happened to you? Have you ever blown up on someone or wondered where it came from? A lot of things we're doing in life are we're just rushing through life. We're just living in the past or worrying about the future, or we're just all soaked up in the moment and we're not really living life. We're not enjoying life because we're all so stirred up in everything else that's going on. So I think that life is about here and now. If I were to dwell in the past, or if I were to really always focus on the things that have happened before, or all the things that could maybe happen or should maybe happen, I really miss out on the things that are going on right now. The only time that we're really ever guaranteed is the moment that we are in. No one's guaranteed the next day. We never know when God's going to take us and say our time here is done. So live in the now. We can't change anything from the past. We really aren't completely responsible for what's going to happen in the future. So live in the moment. The future we want for ourselves will never happen unless we're really taking steps towards right now today. So today I want to talk to you about a little bit about what mindfulness is, and then we'll talk about some steps that you can use to improve it with your life with it. So first, mindfulness is, according to Merriam-Webster at least, the quality or state of being mindful, or the practice of maintaining a non-judgmental state of heightened or complete awareness of one's thoughts, emotions, or experiences on a moment-to-moment basis. Well, that seems kind of wordy, but really what it is that you are aware of the things that are happening to you. You are aware of the state of mind that you're in, and you focus on where it is that you want to go and not so much where you've been. So mindfulness is bringing your attention to where you're experiencing right now without judgment. It's paying attention to your thoughts. It's paying attention to your feelings. It's paying attention to how situations impact you and what's happening in and around you. Being mindful and living in the moment is a super important thing to be doing because, like I said, you only get now. You can't change anything that's happened in the past. You're really not responsible for the things that happen in your future. So just start practicing mindfulness and live in the now. All right, let's talk about some 8 steps to help you, the 8 things that would benefit for you. It really helps. Number 1, it helps you to slow down. Being mindful helps you to really focus in on what's important in life. And we live in such a fast-paced world where we have really lost the art of slowing down and enjoying the moment. At any given moment, we are preparing for the next one. We're even just in our thoughts, like, where do I need to be next? What's happening next? What's next on my calendar? Where do I need to be now? We've really kind of forgotten how to leave space in our lives for spontaneity and unexpected things. I don't know about you, but I tend to structure out everything in my day. I come up with my to-do list. I schedule them all in. I try to make sure that we always have this joke in our house that if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen. And so I try to make sure everything is in there, even like the mundane things, like making sure the lunches are packed and, things I don't want to forget to do that sometimes will just leave my head because we're so wrapped up in all of the things that are going on in the world. So take some time for yourself. Treat yourself with a phone call with a friend, with a loved one. Really schedule some you time into your day. Slow down and enjoy the time. Also, another thing to do is put buffer times in your calendar. So if you do feel like you need to, you're kind of stepping back a little bit and you need to schedule your day, like I do a lot of times, add some extra time in there. So if you think something's going to take you an hour, maybe, or you think something's going to take you maybe an hour, block an hour and a half. So if you can still get something done in that hour, but then you have that half hour to either take care of things that are spontaneity, or you have some downtime just to regenerate your brain and really focus in on the things that you are going to help you be mindful. Number 2, it helps you to know yourself better. When you practice mindfulness, when we are more mindful of our thoughts, we learn how our minds work. We may learn what causes certain behaviors from us. We may see the different triggers that are, making us feel certain things. We can find out what makes us happy, scared, worried, a whole bunch of other emotions. We can recognize our thoughts and feelings for what they are and then properly label them or properly dismiss them or properly, think about how we can use them to empower us instead of unravel us. Number 3, it helps you focus or concentrate. If you've never practiced mindfulness, maybe it's really hard to realize for you to concentrate on something. Maybe it's really hard for you to kind of be present and you struggle being in the moment. But regularly practicing mindfulness has made it so much easier for me now to really focus in on what I need to focus on. I'm able to direct my attention to the thing that I need to, and not be so distracted when it comes to other things that are going on. When I'm at meetings, one thing that I do is take my phone and I set it upside down away from me, or leave it in my pocket, or I really make sure that I'm focused in on the thing that I'm really supposed to be focused in on. When I'm working on a project, I close out the other browsers and I just focus on the thing that I'm doing. When I'm with my kids, I really try hard to put things away. This is definitely something that I'm working on for myself, but it definitely helps you concentrate more. And so number 3 is it helps you focus and concentrate. It really helps you be a part of those kinds of things. Number 4, it helps you ruminate and stress less. If you're like me, you may not do a lot of living in your head. You relive the past experiences and then think about all the possible scenarios in your life that could unfold. Instead of preparing myself for the future, like telling myself I'm really just getting more and more stressed out. But mindfulness puts a stop to that. And that's the things that I've done over the years is that when I focus on what could be or should be or my right now moment and focus on the healthy ways of living and the focus on the healthy thoughts and emotions, I'm able to catch myself now and really put those negative things away. Because when you can't have focus, you can't have fear, and you can't have love in the same heart. So when you focus on the fear things all the time, it ruminates the stress. It just builds, like, when you give fear and stress and worry space to grow, it always grows. So when you can eliminate those kinds of things, you fill your heart and mind with positive and with love and with joy and all those things. The other stuff just has to disappear because there's not room for it. Number 5, it helps you change your bad habits. If you have a habit where you're trying to break, mindfulness can really help that. Being aware of the situation, knowing what your triggers are. If you have a habit of self-sabotaging, maybe your thoughts, your thoughts go from bad to worst case scenario in a matter of seconds. Mindfulness can really help change your thinking. So it helps when you really maybe stop blowing things out of proportion, or maybe you can alter your habits. You can catch yourself. You can recognize when you're going to do what. When I said earlier, when you can know your emotions better, know your thoughts better, what's triggering you. If you can recognize those things, you can do something about it. So instead of letting your emotions take control of you and dictating your behavior, you begin to start to pause and choose how you will respond to things, because we always have a choice. Always have a choice. Number 6, it helps us be more resilient. Life isn't suddenly always beautiful and rosy because you're living in the moment. Living in the moment doesn't necessarily mean that every moment is going to be worth enjoying either. Life happens. We live in a broken world, but there are moments there are just going to be moments that are not fun. But we want to get out of them as quickly as possible. But practicing mindfulness helps us bounce back. It helps us focus on what we do have control of. It helps us know that we can recover more quickly when the bad things happen, because we are capable of doing great things. We know what's at our core. We know that we have a choice to respond positively and not always dwell on the negative. Number 7, it leads to self-acceptance and compassion for others. When you know your thoughts and your feelings and you behave better and you learn to accept yourself for who you are, you can acknowledge your thoughts and feelings without judging them and without judging other people. You learn to really understand why you think what you think and why you feel what you feel. And that really helps you be compassionate. It really helps you be understanding. It really helps you come from a place where you can relate to people and not judge people. So that's a fun thing too. Number 8, it leads to a happy, more enjoyable life. Mindfulness can help you lead in a super enjoyable life, not because life is going to get better for you, but because you see it differently. And what you see and what you focus on and what you believe about yourself, those are the things that the things that show up the most in your life. So if you're enjoying the little moments of life, if you are being super engaged and you are finding positive energy and you can really mentally stay healthy because you're not ruminating on the things from the past and that aren't really worth your energy or your time, you can really enjoy who you are in the moment, and you can enjoy others without judgment, and you can live life in a positive way. And no, it will never be perfect, but it can be perfectly amazing just the way it is. And by being mindful, you can use the tools to rise above where you're at, live your best life, and just stay positive in the more ways. So if you focus on any of these things today, I hope that you focus on the good, you focus on the positive, you live life in the moment, and never take for granted the time that you have here. Because when you can focus on the positive, the joy, the love, all the amazing things, the blessings that God's given you, instead of all the other turmoil and other crazy things that are going on in life, you just become a happier person. And your life is shaped by our mind. So for we become what we think. So what you focus on, you create more of. What you want to be in your life, focus on those things, and your mind will shape your every single day, no matter how far or where we go in this world. So thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so glad somebody jumped on super early. Wow. 5 a.m. club. And so if you like the show today, I hope that you head over to Choose to Rise Up and check out the podcast section there, and also see what else is going on. Head over to Apple Podcast or Podbean, leave a rating and review, and helps other people find us and they get connected with you too. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your week.